there's men in this game, there's females in this game, right? Usually you pair them together, right? You have a cohesive relationship between the two. But what happens if you pair them up, right? What happens if you put one against the other and see which one comes out on top? We've got an all-male team and an all-female team. Now you might be noticing in the third slot, that doesn't look like a male. Is that Sparkle? Is that a Sparkle? Well, you see, she's actually undergoing mask change. She's currently in place of a male, right? So even though some and most might assume and probably be correct that she is in fact a female, she does cohesively just glue this team together in a way that would not work if we tossed in Luca or Sampo or what other male character is there that I could have put inside this team? Ratio. Dr. Ratio was the initial option. Thing is that team does no damage, right? We've got absolutely 0 damage, 0 buffing potential, 0 debuffing potential, kind of debuffing a little bit with wealth, but still nothing in the form of damage amplification. So now that we're back to this run, right? We're currently fighting Yangcheng. We're currently using our duo DPS Blade and Danheng Imbibitor, right? Getting buffed by not only the defense shred from Waltz Light Cone, but also from the duo DPS buffing capabilities of Sparkle with that universal damage percent. And I do have the E1 and the E2 on Sparkle, so I do get that extra attack percent, which is useless for Blade, but that defense percent does actually come in handy. That defense shred for the entire party. Now, Yangcheng has 48% health left. Will he survive? That might be close. That might be close, assuming that the last... I'm not assuming, knowing the last 3 skill point attack is not going to be having any crit damage buffs. There we go. Now that we're on the female side, it puts a couple of things into mind. A couple of things to consider, right? Why aren't all teams like this? Why can't we only have all female teams? This is just the way it should be, right? Why should we have to suffer with male teams and have to have male characters when we can have female teams with female characters, right? Why would we want to buff our characters with males when we can buff our characters with females, right? That might actually be one of the reasons why we haven't had a single male harmony to date, right? Now, we are going to be technically getting one in the form of Imaginary Trailblazer, right? The Harmony Trailblazer, but he is 50-50. Because he is both male and female. So whether he counts, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Now that we're done with the rant, we can talk about the run just a little bit. Because I haven't actually talked about the gameplay one bit the entire time. Now that Bronya did just affect res a couple of stacks of bleed, but not enough because she still has 6, she's kind of close to dying. You know, she's probably going to be pretty close to death. When it comes to Ron Mei, hopefully this break doesn't kill. Probably won't, though, just because we don't have the ult up from Ron Mei, so it's not going to be nearly the same amount of break damage as it would have been if we had that ult up, because the res pen, the defense shred, and the extra damage all together. Extra stack, perfect. Now, hopefully we don't kill, so we're actually going to go for a basic, get an extra stack so we can go into the next wave with max stacks, and then get also a little bit of energy with Bronya, which is great. Now it's dead, and then we're going to be wasting that free stack that we get at the beginning, but it's fine, honestly, it doesn't matter too much. At this point, our goal is to use 3 acheron ults in this entire wave, right? So to do that, we don't want to waste too many stacks that we could potentially gain, but there's some that we need to gain. For example, Palos ult, we need to have that on Sam. So that's just 1 stack that we're just going to have to waste inevitably. So as we can see, now we are going to be applying 56% of defense shred, and then once we do that, we can then actually pop Acheron's ult. The way this team is structured, where we go Acheron, Bronya, Acheron, Acheron, Bronya, Acheron, makes it so we just get so many stacks that sometimes we're actually not going to be able to benefit from the damage boost from Bronya, and we're just going to have to be able to ult out of order, right? Which, with Sparkle, you know, these things don't happen, because Sparkle, you get to keep that buff until their next turn. So that's just one of the sad things that you're going to have to deal with when you use Bronya instead. So at this point, now Bronya is pretty much dead, so she just has to miss. So this next Sam hit kind of has to hit Ranmei, which I'll pray. I'll just pray that it hits Ranmei, and then we're already back up for another ult. So that's 2 ults in 2 acheron turns, technically. Oh, I guess the first one was already pre-charged. Perfect. So now please hit. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Now up to 3 stacks. 4. Now we'll go to 5. And then we'll go to 7. Missed the crit, but it doesn't really matter too much, because now missed another crit, missed 2 crits in a row with 94% crit rate. Kind of interesting. But let's see what Acheron can do. Lovely. Just lovely. Now for the build on Acheron, since we do have her E1, her crit rate does actually jump up to about 94-ish. But we do miss some crits nonetheless. When it comes to Bronya, she is right behind Acheron. So we're going Acheron Bronya. And then as for Pela and Ranmei, relatively standard, nothing too special. With Ranmei, you actually don't need to worry about the Von Whack, because you can just have her not use her ult the first turn, because Acheron kind of has like this backloaded damage. Now for Imbibitor, his build wasn't anything too special, right? Kind of low on crit damage, but since we get so much crit damage from Sparkle, it doesn't actually matter too much. My Blade is relatively weak, extremely low HP, but he's fast enough to go twice, and that's all I really care about in this old male run. And Welt, thank you. And that is both the runs, the male run, the female run. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments, like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and adios.